Welcome back to Savage Road Recovery. I'm your host, taking down articles that are making me giggle on the inside. I found this doctor that just completely gives me all sorts of content, and I'm about to go ham. Let's get into it. So here is a another article from the great doctor Jessica Eaton. I want to say thank you, Jessica, for working at Victim Focus or writing for them. I don't know if you own them, you work for them. I'm not sure, but keep dropping content because I love it. Now let's get into this. This article is called The Three Reasons We Need to Talk About Token Resistance. Yes. What is token resistance, you say? I have no idea. I didn't know anything about this until I saw this article. And that's where the plot thickened. Let's get into this. So for those of you that don't know what token resistance is, I'm gonna read it to you. Token resistance is the act of pretending to resist sexual advances when really you want it to. Okay. See where you're going with this. The term token resistance has been used to describe the way that girls supposedly play hard to get, act coy, play it cool when boys show them attention or proposition them. Okay, I can say in my personal life that I've experienced that. I can't say that hasn't happened. Doesn't seem that nefarious to me. Let's see what she thinks. Token resistance is really everywhere. It's featured in soap, music videos. What music videos are you watching, lady? Films, stories, fairy tales, music lyrics. Okay, all right. Uh, Consider how many romantic comedies you have watched which begin with a single woman who is working in a new job, just moved to a new apartment, or just broke up with a crappy ex. Starts okay, right? Well, as you can see, we can already see the context of how she's proposing this a crappy ex. Maybe she was the crappy one. Like, why were you dating him if he was so crappy? Like, that's a question you need to ask yourself instead of becoming a feminist and getting mad and writing articles about it. Here's all the listing of the stuff that goes on in these movies. So, the real kicker is that once the token resistance of a woman has been overcome, her no is ignored, then she's ground down until she literally can't take anymore. The plot of the film usually shows the woman realizing that she does want the man and then finally says yes. Yes to making love, yes to marriage, and yes to moving in with him. Yes is to being in a relationship with him, or yes to abandoning her career and family to move across the world with him for no reason. Okay. Um Again, moving in with him, moving away, all your decisions, like all these decisions you're choosing, you saying yes to date him is your choice. So again, where's the problem? It is teaching men and boys that no means yes or maybe or try it again later. Okay. All right. I'm assuming this is going to go with a crime. Like this is probably the great culture that we live in that's about to get pushed in this narrative. A boy may watch the same scene and think, so that's what I'm supposed to do when a girl says she isn't interested? Instead of teaching boys and men that no really does mean no, the concept, the constant depictions of resistance teaches boys and girls that women and girls don't really mean no. or life experience. Like, I'm not going to say that movies and media doesn't help it make someone think a certain way or see something in a different light. That's the whole point of a documentary. Documentary is filmed in a way to show a narrative of the director, like to paint a story with something that someone isn't necessarily familiar with. That doesn't necessarily make it bad. Again, if token resistance in token resistance, no means maybe, yes, later, try again, try harder, say something else, keep talking to me, I like you, but I'm playing hard to get. I want it really. Feminists often discuss how we will never change grape culture, which exists in our world. How do we reduce or eliminate violence against women and girls? How do we get abusive men and boys to understand that no means no? The reality is, with relentless messages, that no means yes, but they should simply keep trying and do something else to win the woman or girl. We will never tackle grape culture. Men and boys are getting socialized to believe that no means yes, but I don't want to appear easy. Man, okay. So, again, with this narrative, it's not that great. At the end of the day, if you take the statistics and include prison, men are abused in a love making way at a higher rate than women are. The problem is men don't get to report it, or if men do report it, they're not taken seriously. Like, it's not black and white about just men are bad or men are being taught to be bad. Like, people are bad. At the end of the day, it comes down to people. Girls make bad decisions, boys make bad decisions. There isn't a culture of grapes, because if it was, that means that people would not go to jail. That means there would not be charges. There would not be trials. Even in prison, rapists are not liked. There's a lot of code inside that you have to deal with that if you get the opportunity, or you become associated with being that because you didn't. It's contributing to victim blaming of women and girls. I don't really think the victim blaming really is like a big thing that happens, but we'll see what she has to say about it, you know? Women say no to lovemaking even when they want it. Women want to say no to advances. They are just plain hard to get. Grape happens when a woman doesn't say no clearly enough. Well, under a legal stance, you have to not consent. You have to say no under a legal stance. That, like, when you use the word grape, that is a legal term. So, in a legal sense, to be able to enforce grape, you would have to meet the requirements of that. And if no is part of the requirements to get to this level, then yes, you would have to say it like that. It's legal. It's a legal definition. You're using a legal term in a legal world. Like, if you're gonna step into that world, that's what it is. Like, as you can keep going down here, you can just see like the ire in her to hate men. That's how I'm seeing it. Like, I don't see her being in any way in love with men or liking men. To be honest, she probably has a master's degree in gender studies. Like, what we can do to combat token resistance. Talk about it openly with many people. Stop teaching over simplistic lessons on consent. Yes, I know it's nice to believe that all we have to do is teach kids not that no means no, and they will go up and not be rapists and abusers. But context is so much more complicated. It really isn't. Context isn't complicated. That's how sarcasm comedy works. Sarcasm is the context. Like, you can clearly make context convey something in different situations and you can get that message across. We could start to challenge media representation of women who really want it and instead show depictions of men and boys who do not take no for an answer and move on with their lives. Well, the problem with that is when you're writing a movie or a script or writing a book, you're telling a story. Like, you are not going to see a blockbuster movie that says Jim went to the store to buy onions. There was no onions. He bought an apple and he left. That's not going to be an hour and a half long movie that people are going to pay $20 to go see. Like, you're trying to take simple concepts and extrapolate them into different things, and it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry, Jessica, but it doesn't work that way. Like, it would be a better argument to say to take down movies, not to say, hey, let's change the way stories work to fit my agenda. Talk to girls and women about social pressure to say no when they are interested in a boy due to the shame attached to sexual desire and sexual interest. In reality, no always means no. Men and boys should take no for a no, but it might be worth talking to women and girls about the way society teaches them that they are supposed to be up for sex, but also play coy and protective and hard to get. Maybe if you would have made that argument in the 50s or even the 60s at some extent, maybe into the 70s. But feminism's been, the third wave has been so prolific in our society since the 60s that I can't honestly say that stands true today. You had women in the 60s burning bras, and now you have women walking scantily clad on a slut walk with celebrities. I don't necessarily say that the idea of not being easy or to play coy is being pushed. I don't really see that. Most of the shows we watch or music we listen to have scantily clad women that are very sexually aggressive. You don't see a lot of girls that are churchgoers keeping themselves for marriage, or the girl next door that is a tomboy that never is interested in boys. Like, you don't really see that in shows or in movies. You see a lot of good looking people with sexual tension. Talk to men and boys about sexual harassment and the way that movies, stories, soaps, and music encourage them to harass and stalk women and girls even when they say no. Get them to think certain about the amount of media and social norms. Expect them to keep pushing women and girls who don't want them and how to deal with rejection, respectively. Well, one, Jessica, don't talk to me about rejection because in society, men approach women. It's men that learn how to be rejected. I don't really see a lot of women approaching men in society. So, with that being said, you don't know how to deal with rejection, for one. For two, I don't see any funny comedies or any serious movies that aren't documenting a crime or some sort of drama, horror type thriller movie with a man just stalking a woman and it's considered to be funny, or like Scream is a dude that's stalking and hurting people. Jason, same thing. But like you don't see a funny comedy about how a dude like travels across the country stalking a woman. Like that's not really what you see in the media. With my conclusion, I really think that this article is just her thinking of a topic and being biased and letting her bias pour through in words. I'd really like to know how you get into writing articles, because if there was a men's rights site, newspaper, letter, I would be writing every week. This is this really isn't going to do anything for anyone, because I don't see this level of negativity in media like that. Like, don't get me wrong, there is a bias. There are things that aren't good in the media. That's clear as day. But not the way that she's paying it with this heavy hand. But I'm just me. This is Savage Red Recovery. Hit the like, the subscribe button, share it for me, help me with those algorithms. Leave me a comment about what you think or your take on it. See you guys next time. Salute.